What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a CBCS haul. Will it be the last CBCS haul? Am I officially back to doing CGC if I'm going to grade unsigned or previously unsigned, signed rather, comic books? What kind of grades did I get? Am I happy? Did they get the labels right? We shall see. And you know the deal. Stay tuned for the video. Before we get into all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this one drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as whether or not to watch an hour later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. So I'll show you how much I appreciate you. I will give you a discount code. So if you are needing some supplies for your comics, cards, record albums, etc., visit bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG to save yourself 10% on your order. Now, so when I had sent these back, let's see, in July, I believe, of last year. So this is 6-7 months in the making. None of them were signed. I sent these in with one of the golden tickets that I had gotten out of one of the Comic Tom 101 mystery mail call boxes. So some of these books, because at that time I really didn't have anything that just kind of jumped out at me. It's like, yes, I'm ready to grade this. So some of these books I wanted to get graded. Some I was like, yeah, if I get graded the right price, grade comes back, I'll probably sell them. Kind of deal, because it was like buy 4 get 1 free, I think is how that worked. So I'd sent them off to get pressed prior to going to CBCS. And so let's see what we got. Now the first one is going to be Alf 48. So for those of you obscure collectors, you know Alf 48 is the infamous Seal book. Yes, the Seal book where Alf is supposedly doing something he shouldn't be doing. Whether or not, I haven't never read whether or not it was confirmed that indeed he was meant to be doing that or just implied. So I bought this book raw. It was a newsstand, and I bought this book raw and kind of was hoping for more like a 6 to 8.0 grade. It is a black cover because of the hook advertisement. It's a newsstand, so you typically have those things. Anyway, so let's see what we got. 5.5 off white. So definitely lower than what I would have guessed. Based on what this book is still currently selling for, especially in a newsstand, I'm still money, for what I paid for it with grading fees and raw. I'm still okay on the price. So it's just kind of hope for something a little bit bigger. So let's talk about this book right here, Crow Hack and Slash Classic looking Crow, Brandon Lee looking Crow. I bought this raw from I'll think about it in a minute. Seller on YouTube. Thorough, keep it thorough. But I bought this from Thorough. Very, very clean copy of it. It's a newer book, so you kind of expect that, but it does have a white background. So it is the Den of the Damned exclusive virgin cover, Tim Seeley art, Jim Terry, pretty dope looking cover. And this is one of those that I just wanted in the PC, but then I was looking for one to actually slab. It's like, let me just shoot for that 9.8. So did I get it? Boom. No. Still a dope cover. I haven't looked at the grader's notes on any of these. Sometimes you run into 9.6. I mean, it's just a hair's small, slight tick difference, right? And so I don't know on this one. So it kind of sucks. Sometimes they say that second place is the first loser. 9.6 is probably the first loser, right? Because most books, there's this huge disparity between the 9.6 and the 9.8. Whether there should be or shouldn't, obviously that's another conversation. So, X-Men #1, J. Scott Campbell variant. This is the Rogue Negative Space. I do have the John Tyler Christopher one, which I actually like better than I do this one. And that one is numbered. This one I don't believe, maybe it is numbered. So let me show you this. It hmm. Well, it says limited to 2,500 copies. So I thought this was interesting. They sent my certificate of authenticity back with me, but they sent it back in somebody else's board and bag for somebody who had Wolverine 2. So they must have just saw it and grabbed a board and bag, because I don't even get these kind that don't have the little lip over, and they sent it back. So I guess I got my certificate. I didn't get my original board and bag. But yeah, so let's see, what kind of grade did we get? 9.6 again, first loser. This book was really clean. I actually bought this book raw from Adrian Panda Awesome. And yeah, and of course he did not in any way and say that this was a candidate or nothing like that. I think he put on there was like 9.4, 9.6 material, and I see actually three little spine stresses on the back. And the problem is that these books sat so long. So anything that was done by a presser, I really can't, at least in my mind. Let me know in the comments down below if you think something different. But at least in my mind, I really can't say, hey, the presser didn't do his job, because it just sat in a warehouse for all that time. So the work that the pressing does will go away over time. And that's why you really there's no need of pressing a book unless you just want practice. You do it yourself if you're just going to keep it raw. But yeah, so 9.6, still a dope book. This is a PC book. So the Alf one's the one I'm just kind of iffy on. Of course, I like me some Alf, but I might cull that book from the collection. Now, this is another one that I might call from the collection. This is the Invincible #1. This is the Whatnot exclusive one the first one that they did, that they sent out to the various sellers on Whatnot. The only reason I'm kind of iffy on this one is because you're not going to be able to see it, but all the names of the sellers here, of which mine is on there. So they sent this book to me for free, so I'm money either way. This is still a rather big book. I mean, at one point when the market was so frothy, it was super big. I got this one, and they sent me a Virgin. I chose to keep I sold the Virgin Raw on a Whatnot sale. I chose to keep this one, and this one got sent in, obviously with this order. And they sent me like the Adam, Eve, and the whatever his dad's name is. Can't think of it right now, but I sold those as well as a set. And so this is the only reason this one probably didn't get sold, because it's been sitting at CBCS for all this time, because I was thinking about selling this at some point. Actually, I had seen Tyler Kirkham in Dallas Fan Expo last year, and I was like, oh man, I'm just looking everywhere. Like, this book should be here. And lo and behold, I'd forgotten it. It had already been sent off to CBCS and just been sitting there all that time. So let's see what we got here. Boom, 9.8. So the sad part about it is I'm like more inclined to actually sell it with it being a 9.8, because that little 9.8 bump. But this is the Whatnot exclusive from August of 2021. Tyler Kirkham cover. Of course, Tyler Kirkham has homaged himself a bajillion times by now with that one there pose. So kind of let me know in the comments down below, if it was you, what would you do? But this is aside from my exclusives, and I guess technically Squatchy's cover that has me on the front of it. This is the first one that had my name right there. Son of Comic Geek. All right. So the big book, certainly of the lot, is this one right here. Very recognizable cover. Silver Surfer #4. Classic cover. Um, Silver Surfer versus Thor on the cover. Origin of Silver Surfer retold. Loki appearance. Hulk, Thing, Odin, Hercules, Zeus, and Heimdall. Get it out in a minute. Cameo. Cover art by John Buscema and Sal Buscema. And it seems like this is maybe John Buscema's first work on the title, or maybe Sal's first work at Marvel, something to that nature as well. So I bought this book raw from Beta Ray Jim. He was actually auctioning it one night. So I'm not sure where he got it from. I don't guess it really matters, but he had bought this book, or had went to auction this book off, and he had listed it as maybe a 2.5 or a 3. So I will say, with what I paid for it in the auction, there were a couple people obviously, jockeying for this book. Even though this was kind of more at the height of the market overall, this book is still a decent price book. And with what I paid for it, I'm still fairly good on it. There are a couple of books, and I'm sure we all have them, that since the market has cooled off significantly, that we go, I'm going to have to hold on to this one for a little while before we, back money again. Obviously, you do whatever you got to do if you need to pay a bill or something, but just wanting to sell it to make a couple dollars to move to something else. You want to kind of wait on mini books. This is a book that if I had to sell it today, probably still good with it. The This book, there's several spine splits. There's a if you hold it the right way, you can see kind of where it's been creased. There's a chip out of the back here. So and Beta showed all that way back then. So this come back a 2.0 off-white pages. So a little bit lower than what I was hoping for. You never know. Because again, could it be the presser did something to the spine that wasn't? I don't know. It's been 7 months. It's hard to remember these little odds and ends little deal. I'd probably be better off actually filming these books before they go. Not that it really matters, because you can't send it to CBCS or CGC and say, hey, look, here's my comic before I submitted it, and why does it look the way it does now? Because it went to a presser. They can blame the presser before it went to them. So I don't know. Maybe, let me know in the comments below if you have like this little system, if you will, of how you submit books to make sure that things come back as much as possible the way you actually submitted them. Could have been damaged in shipping. Who knows? I don't know. So especially after 7 months of it being in, this is probably one for the PC. The only way, I'm not a big upgrade guy on most books. If I got one at the right price raw, and was able to offload this one instead, I might do something about that. But otherwise, this is one for the PC, and I'm okay with the 2.0, and got the classic cover in the PC. Boom. So that is all of my CBCS order. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Now, I mentioned at the outset of this video that is this going to be my last CBCS? So if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I had quite this debacle with CGC. So this is what pushed me to CBCS, especially after they changed their cases to be a lot nicer case and stuff. Because when I go to a con, I'm apt to get a lot of books signed, and I like multiple signatures on my book. So that might mean that I get one at this con, one at that con. Before the year's up, I might have 3 or 4 signatures on it, and then I want to get a slab. Well, CGC is not going to do anything but give the green label of death to that. So I don't want to do that. So, that is still a good option for CBCS if you want to hold your value. I could obviously go with PGX, not too hip on the cases. The new EGS cases, on the other hand, are really nice, but again, you're talking about value. It's just not really there. So, CBCS seems like the obvious alternative to CGC for, and when it comes to that. But I had wanted them to be the alternative for everything. That way, almost every slab, at least the ones that I was buying raw to get slab, were CBCS, and they totally flipped it up. There's no other way to put it. And I know, having talked with a lot of people, basically they've done that to a lot of people, and it's really a shame. I think they missed their window of opportunity when CGC was kind of faltering. That was perfect time. Um, I don't know if you can blame it on Steve. Of course, has since left the company. uh, who you blame it on? Do you blame it on the venture capitalist company that owns CBCS and not having good leadership? Who knows? But needless to say, I'm going back to CGC, who has lowered their turnaround times in the midst of still obviously being fairly full, and CBCS has yet to do so. Being able to call somebody, which was supposed to be something that was on the short list at CBCS, I don't know about you, but I haven't got that. Have been fortunate enough to contact CBCS, and this is the only reason that I got these books back now, as opposed to many months later. Was I contacted CBCS through their Instagram um, deal, a direct message to their Instagram, and that's the only reason why I got any connection with this order or the previous order. So, yeah, now you can kind of get inroads, but then why should I have to do that? I want to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody if I have a problem, and I shouldn't even have a problem. It's been there for 7 months. There was no signature verifications on any of these things. So what was there to do? What was there to do? So CGC is still got a slight advantage when it comes to valuations. Now they're going back to having the advantage of being the faster alternative. Um, CBCS, like I said, with the signatures, does have its pluses. The no uh, Newton rings is a great plus. But yeah, CBCS, you've lost a lot of my business. So sorry, not sorry. You done it, not me. It's all you, not me, and this breakup. So let me know in the comments down below if you've kind of made a similar decision, or if you're still CBCS is the way the truth lies. What do you think? So until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.